Hello everybody, thanks for watching. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Gerber Remix Tactical. Alright, pretty interesting looking blade. That's what draws a lot of people to it. First off, I'd like to say thanks to Knife Center. Not because they're a sponsor or anything, but because they had a pretty good deal. It's the price I paid. So, if you're looking for this knife, which, wait before you judge the knife. So if you're interested in it, I would go to them if they still have that price, because that's where I got it. Anyway, let's get going. So here's the packaging that it came in. Standard fare. Has a nice look here on the back. Lifetime warranty. Pretty typical stuff. Also has the stats here, but I'll read those to you in a second. So here's the knife. Pretty interesting looking. Has a 3-inch tanto tip blade. So 3 inches. They're trying to get it as long as possible, with it being as legal as possible to, carry in most states without without a concealed weapons permit. So 3 inches, tanto tip, hollow ground, pretty decent hollow grind too, to be exact, which a lot of you knife guys could probably tell just by looking at that bevel. It's pretty interesting vertical machine grinding lines here on the bevel too, which these ones I like. They look good, they kind of give character. Got a partially serrated blade here, and I like these serrations. I like about those is the large serration there, you see that. I like how shallow and how long this serration is in this one, see that, as compared to a traditional serration. See how deep the serration is and how narrow it is on this knife. So I like these serrations. I'd much prefer there not to be there altogether, but they're not bad. So 3-inch blade, as we stated multiple times. The blade length, or not the blade length, but the length closed is 4.88 inches. So a little over 4 3/4. Interesting profile while it's closed. And then the overall length is 7.88 inches. Okay. The weight, according to Gerber, is 4.6 ounces, so just over 4.5. And the blade steel is 7CR17 MOV. Chinese steel. Not a bad steel, actually. A lot of people hate on the CR steels. I think that's mainly due to confusion. They don't know what they are or what they're equivalent to, and they also don't really test them as they should. So this 7CR17, it seems to be pretty good. Moving on to the handle. The handle is G10. Close up here. Looks pretty grippy, right? If you look, I would recommend looking at some of the higher res pictures and stuff before you buy any knife. And I would recommend reviewing stuff too, or looking for reviews rather. But if you look at those high-res pictures, you would see that G10 and be like, man, that looks really grippy. Well, it's not. Sorry. It's not really that grippy. It's okay, but what it feels like is someone took, say, gun oil, coated the handle in it and let it sit for a day. It just kind of has that kind of weird feeling to it, like it just feels slick. I don't know. doesn't have as much grip as you want it to and as you would think that it would. Got some lightning cuts here. Lightning as in lightening up the weight, not, thunder strike. You can use these holes for a grip transition. I'll show you that now. So what you would do, God, I got this black shit everywhere. I don't know where it's coming from. But what you would do is a finger not in the ring. You would use your middle finger, place it in the middle hole. You would take your thumb along the back of the handle, index on the opposite side on the middle hole. Right there, kind of tucked behind the pocket clip a little bit. So then you end up pinching it kind of like this. You're going to rotate the knife, so now the blade is facing your hand, and you're going to let it drop down. So now you're in reverse grip. You can transition back, again, making sure your pinky isn't in the ring. Index on the middle hole. With your middle finger, run your thumb along the back middle hole, and I got to tip it this way, and just flip the knife up. And try not to hit the camera or the table, but so it's not too difficult. Index here and here. Rotate the knife. The blade's now facing my hand, and you're going to flip it up. Also got a lanyard hole here on the back of the knife. Put any kind of lanyard you want on there. You can also not use it. It is also supported by the steel liners too. It kind of looks like it isn't just because of the way they cut it, but it's supported. And got a pocket clip here on this side, on the right hand side of the knife. This is, I guess it kind of depends on what you call the right. But it's a right hand carry pocket clip, we'll say that. So right hand carry, tip up. You can remove it. It takes the SAE keys. So you can remove it, you just can't place it anywhere else. So sorry lefties, kind of left out again. Open flow through pillar design. You got 3 pillars here. This is basically what's holding the handle together, that and the ring. So nice use of space, kind of a minimalist approach. I like that. Once again though, these are SAE keys, and I don't like that. It is a liner lock. Pretty substantial, not substantial, but pretty nice thickness liners here. There are definitely a lot thinner liners out there. This is one of them. Okay, see how thin that locking bar is? Now we'll compare it to, get my fat fingers out of the way here. There we go. So this is more of a typical liner thickness, and as you can see here, much thicker, which is good. Adds strength, adds durability. It's what you want. So no complaints there on the liner. It's very strong, the locking bar is, and it's kind of one of the reasons why this blade is so slow and so kind of gritty, and we'll get into that in a second. But nice liners on here. They did a good job. Blade centering is perfect. It was perfect out of the box too. Let's check the timing on the lockup. We'll go slow. And we're locked. And we're perfect. Right in the middle of that blade stock. We'll go fast. A little bit over to the right, a little bit more, but then again, have used this knife quite a bit. Okay, so we'll get into what I've modified so far on the handle. So I've made those little notches you will not have that on your knife unless you put them there. Okay, because I did that myself. Just to add a little bit more grip. Remember I said these handles are a little bit slick. To aid this knife in opening, because when you get it, again, you're going to be disappointed in how slow and how gritty this blade is. One of the reasons for that is these deep grooves, these machine lines. Remember I said there's machine marks here on the bevel. I like those ones. Those ones look cool. They look add character. I don't like these ones here on the flats. Okay, and they go all the way down to the ring portion here. And what's happening is, because this locking bar is so strong and the detent is quite deep on the blade stock, that the ball bearing that's attached to the locking bar here is actually skipping in and out of every single groove that's on the flats here, these machine marks. And so it's producing a lot of drag. And so what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to loosen the pivot, or this axle ring here. You can do it. It doesn't take any specialized tools really. You just need whatever is, you know, thin enough to fit in the hole. And you can support it however you want. Make sure you hold the negative side down. Let's see here. This is where the two pieces connect together. This is the seam. See how this side is all one piece. So hold that side down, take this side and spin it, loosen it, you know, lefty loosey, righty tighty. Loosen it up. You're gonna have to take the blade out. Pay attention to the washers. One washer is thin, the other one's a little bit wider. Pay attention to which side those ones go on. And you're gonna have to sand down the area that makes contact here and here, and then polish it. Make sure it's nice and polished, even surface, and that will help get it to where it's nice and smooth. It's still a little bit gritty. I could have done a little bit better job, but if you put the work in, it'll open nice and easy. If this was a stock knife, I couldn't open it the way you just saw. So do that. Again, pay attention to the washers. I'm looking, it doesn't matter. So my knife's a little bit dirty here. You can see dirt, some sludge really. But see that washer right there? That white washer? Pay attention, because that one's actually wider than the one that's on this side. And the reason for that is because of the locking bar. If you put the wrong one on the wrong side, what will happen is when that locking bar engages, it will bend in the thicker washer, or the wider washer, not thicker. So let's get into a cutting test here. I got some newspaper style paper. Pretty difficult to cut, but we'll go here. There's someone's face is on the other side, so I don't want to show their face. But anyway, here we go. Newspaper cut, I should say. Pretty good. I have receipt paper here too. Walmart receipt. So not bad. You see a couple hiccups here and there. That's most likely me. I'm not the greatest at cutting paper. I don't see any flat spots either, so that's got to be just me. In conclusion, if you make the modifications that I have made, this knife will serve you well. I carry it now. I like it now. I like this knife. If Gerber sold this knife, you know, I'd be satisfied. But unfortunately, it has those problems which I've stated, and it's just not as popular as it should be. So make of that what you will. If you're willing to put in the time, it's great. But if not, it kind of sucks. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.